to SevTech Ages of the Sky, and welcome to Age 3. Today we've got to get quite a bit done, so why don't we get started with some handy tool upgrades and also looking at some initial ores. So I went out and looked for the ores, that's no problem. Let's just have a look at our map. You can see where I've been here so far. If I scroll out, there's quite a few places. Limonite and bauxite, lapis, platinum, and I think galena is there as well. So yes, I went in through, picked up some samples, no real lots of mining. One quick note, limonite will give you both iron and it will give you nickel. You won't get the achievement until you hit nickel, until it gives you nickel, so just keep going through limonite until you actually get to some nickel. And the same for galena, you get lead and silver, so you probably want both just to have some samples around and stuff like that. But yeah, we're okay otherwise, I think. So those are straightforward, nothing too much to say there, except that we're going to need to look at new tools. Now, we need to go to the Nether, and we already have portals that we could go through. And there is one on my map, which is just down here, not too far away. Nether portal, just like the end portal. There's quite a lot of end portals. I've only seen one Nether portal so far. So again, it's only like 3 or 4 islands over, no big deal. We could also then later cast or even use Obsidian to make the usual Nether portal. So along here we could have an extra area for a Nether portal. For the moment, we can just head over to that, and that just needs a flint and steel, which I went ahead and created. I think I've got one. Yeah, I've got flint and steel. However, the Nether is also going to be a skyblock from what I know, and that is also going to be fun times getting around. So what we would like to do is have a better pick available. This is only diamond level, and if there is a cobalt and ardite in the Nether, then we're going to want a better pick anyway. And we're also going to be able to pick up obsidian to be able to literally put it down to a portal if we like. To do that, we have some options. So let's take a look at Tinker's Construct. And have been looking at Shuriken because they are now available. So I will be crafting one of those soon as well. But let's just look at tools, tool materials to get started. So we want something that's at least obsidian level. You can't use a sharpening kit in this particular pack. It just repairs your tools. It doesn't actually upgrade them. You can see here, a lot of them are diamond level. Fiery is obsidian, but fiery, I've only got a few of them, and it's not renewable without fighting either the Urghast or the Hydra. And those towers and arenas aren't that common. I've seen the Urghast more than I've seen the Hydra, but yeah. So I'm ignoring that one. Night metal and night slime I have, but again, not a huge renewable supply. But what I did find, well, there's 2 real ways of getting this. 2 easily accessible ways, I should say. One is to make a crystal pick. Okay, so we'll do both of these. And the other is also this, Abyssal Night. Now, Abyssal Night is, at least in my seed, so if you don't know the seed, it's greatest with a capital G, is available on this island right here. So if you dig down into the cobblestone, although you probably wouldn't be able to see it before, you can actually get Abyssal Night. Now, Abyssal Night will then, let's just see the users. We use the grindstone, which I've created from Astral sorcery, to get a potential doubling of that. However, that's only then available to be processed in things we don't have yet. So best not to do that. Let's just leave that alone. Instead, we can just smelt it up like normal. So straight into a molten Abyssal Night, which you can then cast out just like anything else. So we're definitely going to want a cast of... Do I have a cast already of a pickaxe head? I do not. So we'll make a stone version, and let's get that on the go. The other thing is also a rock crystal pick. So let me just do that while it's turning nighttime. Let's just head over here, and let's see how that compares. I think they both should do obsidian just fine. So obsidian, of course, you're going to want to either find some in the world. If you remember, there was some in the Urghast Tower, but that's not exactly what I really want to do. Or you can actually just, pour water over lava approach, and maybe deal with some of those magma creatures as well at the same time, because they're not fun. They're not fun at all. And yeah, that's the long and the short of it. So rock, crystal, maybe just be a crystal pick. Yeah. So infused, no, I just want the regular one. I want to see whether this actually is pretty good for that. So we have everything we need. 3 rock crystals and a couple of sticks. And that should give us a pick. And again, this is only a very temporary thing. That is obsidian. It's fine as far as stats are concerned. I don't really need it for much, so that will do that. And the other one is an abyssal light pick, so let's just go and take a look at that once I cast it out. I'm not going to show you that, it's the usual kind of approach. And once we cast it out, we'll see which one's better. Bring you back in a second once I find some obsidian. Well, create some obsidian. So we've got an abyssal light pickaxe head, a wooden tool rod, and a paper binding, just because I just want to use a paper binding for now. We can always swap everything out later. This, again, is really just to get us going. And then we can just pop in all of you 3, and let's just leave that as the default name. So this too should be able to, mine level cobalt, and you're also cobalt, so we've got both of those going. And then I'm just going to go hunt myself down a little bit like that, a little bit of monsters by a lava pool really somewhere. To do that, one thing you want to do is probably get some increased or better food. Now in tier 3 or age 3 or whatever you want to call it, instead of using the tasty sandwiches for grain and protein, we can go with these fish and chips. Well, I'm British, so why not? So this instead is protein and vegetable, not protein and grain. You see the difference. So what all you do with that is you use a knife, this Actual Additions knife, to cut up some baked potatoes, and that turns into French fries. Weirdly, that turns them into grain. Not sure why they count as grain at that point, but grain they are. And combine that with some cooked fish, etc., with paper cones. And yes, you do have to put them out of paper, but you get them back as soon as you actually eat. So no big deal there. And this, if you have a look at the difference, let's just look at the tasty sandwich. So that's like 5 saturation. This one is a lot more. So yes, having these around when you're actually fighting stuff is going to be handy. And you see there's a really tiny lava pool down there, which might actually do us if I just decelerate and turn around. And I haven't seen any magma creatures either when I was passing over the top. So maybe that will just do us and leave us without a fight. Anyway, let's drop down. I think that's actually one that I've robbed a few from before, maybe. Yeah, there's already some water here and it's spawned next to it, so it's done my job for me, really. Fine, when I stop bouncing, I'll hold down shift to do that. I've got some seared gauge, because I just want to get a few pieces of lava anyway. My whole base side of smeltery needs to be refilled, so let's just get you, and you. Okay, I don't think I can get another one. No, it won't partially fill, but that's fine. I'll just keep the other one in my bucket. And there we can see we've got some obsidian. So if I just basically grab this water back from wherever its source block is, that's looking pretty good. Then looks like we can actually just test this out. So if I try 1 obsidian, let's see how fast this is. That's pretty fast for obsidian. Yeah, there we go. So 1 obsidian got. Now I don't have ore excavation yet, remember, but that is something we can get on a few different ways. There's an enchantment and there's also an excavate modifier. Yes, excavate modifier. It needs a few things we don't have yet. Steel plate being the primary one. Steel plate we're going to have to make blast brick for. There's no other way that I can see to actually make it. The rest is actually easy enough. Octine and Simmerite from the Betweenlands. Modularium, which is just a few things alloyed. Redstone, iron, and aluminium. And we've got aluminium now, so we can make that. And that's how the modular machines are going to be put together, which is in this age. So there's lots of stuff to do with that. And then decorative maystone brick for some reason. So I need to go back and get some of that. Anyway, because we can't excavate, let's just see how good this one is. That's much slower. That is much slower. Yes, I think we're going to go with the rock crystal to get some obsidian. All right, fair enough. And then we can use that to then create an obsidian pick if we wanted to, I suppose. But we already have a couple of picks here, and we can go with those too. All right, back to the base, and maybe we'll use this one. Is there anything nice with obsidian? Other than making a nether portal, of course, which would be quite easy to actually do. Yeah, we're not getting into the nether stars just yet. But we can see glowstone now, but not diamond yet. So, yeah. we can take a look at that once I'm back at the base. The other thing I want to try while I'm out here, if we look at the stats of this crystal pickaxe, see it's got size, purity, and cutting. I think cutting's the one we actually want here, and size will go down when I do this, but we should be able to sharpen this, I think. Let's just put it there, and then do that, and then get it back, and cutting is up, size is down. That's exactly what I expect. Now, bringing the cutting up is going to be good. It should do better for actually cutting 31, but size is way down now. You got to be careful about the size going too low. I think that's what breaks this thing. But the idea, if I don't break it, is that maybe it'll be better doing its job. Cutting 42%. Okay, so let's see. Is that any particularly faster for Obsidian? Yeah, that's much faster. Okay, so you do actually want a grindstone at some point. We're going to be using it for other things as well, including growing crystal sizes, but having that available is good. This is useless by comparison, so very, very handy to have this. But the Tinker's Construct stuff will get more powerful. In particular, the modifiers, I think, are available. Yes, they are. Okay, so we have the resistance modifier, fire resistance, projectile, blast, and most importantly for tools, reinforcement modifier, which is the thing that takes obsidian. And you get enough of those on something and it becomes unbreakable. And you need, I think you need 5 of them, and that means you also need 5 modifiers. This has 4 at the moment. So yeah, you could do a few things to get that up and running, but yeah, pretty good. So we have a tool and I can just continue harvesting obsidian until I have enough, really. But I'm not going to worry about it just yet. I think for the reinforcement stuff, I'm actually going to wait. Oh, that's so nice. I'm going to wait until I have the ore excavation stuff, I think, which means I need to get to steel more than anything else. But this is good for now. I think I have enough of this that I can then just basically build a portal in my base. I don't need to go and travel. So yeah, I think we'll do that as well. And if you're concerned about breaking it, you can use your grindstone repeatedly, of course, but then the size goes down. Throw your tool into a block filled with liquid starlight. There it goes. The size was 279 on that before when I threw it in. So let's just take a look at it now. So what are you? You are 571 again. So if I want to just resharpen that, I can do so. And let's just say 3 or 4. And grab it back. And what's our sharpening? Our cutting's up to 50%, and the sizes are down to 400 again. So I mean another 3 or 4. And 68%. So that should be even faster. In fact, I've got some obsidian right here. So let's just see how fast it gets now. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, certainly for obsidian anyway. And you can continue to do that as and when you have liquid starlight available. You see it's back down to 265 again. So yes, very handy. Over time you may need to resharpen it because its cutting may well reduce, but in the time being there's no real problems there. We can just regenerate it. I seem to have enough really to do like a typical portal kind of size. It's like 10 or 12, and then I have 31 available, so that's not quite enough to deal with enough reinforcement modifiers, but we'll get some more later, I have no doubt. Let's see if the mod pack will let me have non-standard portal sizes. Yes, it will. Good, that's fine. And we're pretty much ready to go and take a quick look on the other side. Wow! The bear! Always with the bear! Why? Why you keep spawning bear? This is just... Ah, really? Jump scares? No, I don't do jump scares. Who am I kidding? I got attacked by a bear, so I went and got more obsidian, and I've made 4 reinforcement modifiers. I'm just going to use up some of my casts to make them. Of course, cast some more, add some more gold. That's perfectly okay with me. So we got 5 of these. That should be enough to get us to unbreakable on anything. And of course, well, I have some knife blades, and you know what I can do with those? Well, let's just cast an iron knife blade. I've got some paper to give it an extra modifier. That may be enough. We'll see how many modifiers you get by default. There's our iron one, and let's just take a look at assembling it. So Shuriken, top left one determines what you repair it with, so you could put bone in there if it didn't make it to that, to Oh, I've got 2 iron knife blades. It must only be 1 per. That's fine. Bone, iron, paper, shuriken, and does it have enough modifiers? It has 5 modifiers. That's exactly what I want. So, power shuriken. It's not going to be powerful at the start. Powerful shuriken. Yes. Oh, fine. I'll just type it, shall I? Powerful shuriken. It's not going to be powerful at the start at all, but you can replace everything in it, so that's pretty good. And then we want to just go, I think, to this, and then we can drop in modifiers, and that's 20% per. So if we just stack them, then pick it up. Yep. Okay, now that should, I say should, be basically unbreakable. Yes, it's unbreakable. Okay, so we've got magnetic 3, fractured, splintering, etc, etc. As and when we level this up, we'll be able to get some more modifiers, maybe get things like looting, etc, and stuff like that. Now, is there a bear around? I thought I'd heard another bear. Yeah, hello, bear. Goodbye. And of course, no ammo to use, no problems, and off to the Nether. Okay, so the Nether is full of different biomes too, so it's not just a single biome, and one of them will become really important. We need the original Hell biome, so I am going to need one of those bioanalyzers. And that's to find, I think it's Nether something, or Nether Amethyst, Nether Sapphire? One of those two. I think it's Amethyst. I'll show you in a second on the advancements screen. But yeah, we're just going to wait for it to load in. There's the Nether, and hopefully not too suicidal when I step through the portal for the first time. What are we going to get? And you ask for something, and well, the game delivers. So yes, however, I do see an island up there with glowstone, which is amazing. We can get some of that. Something I have some stuff to actually to build around. But yeah, I'm guessing I'm just going to jump into the void, and well, we'll see what we get. Okay, so we do get updrafts. That is a good start. And now I'm just going to start flying around, really, and seeing what we get. There's an island over there. That's a decent island that I don't have to climb too much. But there is also... is there going to be magma monsters? I don't think so. We are in the Nether, of course. I'm not sure I like the bouncing over here, but let's go and take a look. Yeah, okay. So usual safety for the Nether. The main thing we need to do for our particular achievement is just enter the Nether. Yeah. But in here... we need to get to the Arctic Abyss biome and lots of other stuff. Yeah, Nether Amethyst ore as well. And dinging down a bit, we get to the usual kind of stuff we need to get to in here. There's some soul sand, which is good. And we also have nether quartz ore. We can't harvest that with our AIoT. So instead, we're going to just use our nether quartz ore. Nether quartz ore, a crystal pickaxe. And it breaks instantly. So yes, there is... lots of stuff for us to collect in here and head back to the base with, at least for the first... oops, I can't use that. Yeah, at least for the first one. I'm so used to using one tool now that it's very, very odd when I have to use more than one. So, yeah, we're not going to get some of the other stuff, unfortunately, down here, I don't think. We can use our ore prospector for this age, and you can see I can have a look around, but it's just nether quartz ore on this particular island. Some other things we're looking for is nether amethyst ore, but it only actually is found in the hell biome, the normal one, so we have to look out for that. We need to enter the Arctic Abyss biome for some bits and pieces. Looks like nether water and nether tools. We'll have to come back to that, or at least this is one of the requirements. And then our usual blaze stuff, really. So that's easily enough avoided. And then we're heading off into Immersive Engineering. So I'm off to mine a little bit, and we'll come back for some more stuff at the base. And of course, we can now see glowstone. So down here we go, and let's go and pick some of that up. This should be instant break as well, I would have thought. Ooh, maybe not. You can't instant break with that, but you can with the AIoT. We're going to have to carry around multiple tools again. It's fine, but it's just a little odd that one is very, very, very good and the other one, well, not necessarily so good. Depends on what you're doing. But we've got some glowstone dust, got a bit of netherrack, head back to the base. into immersive engineering then. So we're going to first of all craft some coke bricks, 27 of those. It's just clay and bricks and some sandstone, and a few of Buildcraft Factory's tanks. There's not really much choice in terms of tanks that I can see, so we'll just go with those. Haven't really used Buildcraft, it's like 1.7 or so. Should be interesting doing that again, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Also, make yourself a liquid hopper and a crafting station. These will all become very useful. Now, previously I have just sunk this into the floor, and I might try that again. Yeah, let's give it a go, and let's see if I need to change something. Mainly because I'm going to need to feed, it's mainly the liquid hopper I'm thinking about, so let's just clear a space in the corner. We can always move it later, it's no big deal either way. It's a 3x3 from memory, the coke oven, so it's what we're actually building, and that should be very straightforward. So we've got a space there, and let's just put our coke oven down. I can't remember if it's solid in the middle or if there's a gap, but I'm sure we'll find out very, very shortly. And there we go, and 3x3. Whoops. Oops, when I put the blocks in. The yellow thing is just the shaders. There we go. So that just needs the Immersive Engineering's hammer, I think. And I think it's just, is it just right click the middle? Yes, it is. Okay, so that's perfectly valid as a structure. And then what we probably need is the tank. So if I just go down one side, what I want to know is, and these tanks, just be aware, you can't pick them up and retain the fluids. I think they just break very, very quickly. However, it does stack upwards, if I remember rightly. Yep, it does stack. So that helps just store a lot more stuff. And then we're going to want to basically export the liquid from the the coke oven, out to the tank. I'm going to need to move stuff around, aren't I? Let me just get rid of you for a second. Let me just go sideways. There we go. And let's see if you will accept this direction. Come on, I know you want to. Can we not just shift right click to rotate this? Is there not a tool I can use? Never mind. It's easy enough done another way. So if I just do that for a second, I can just go back in here. And yeah, there we go. So that's the input side, that's the output side, and there we go. So I can just put, whoop, that helps if I get back out. I can just redo the front. There we go. Okay, so what we want from that is some blocks of coal, and I'd suggest you do the block form, not the actual regular form, just because it does it pretty much the same speed and you get lots more out of it. You can convert, what we're basically doing here is converting coal into coal coke, and with the regular just individual, one piece of coal, you get about half a bucket out, and if you do a block of coal, you get 5 buckets out, so lots of creosote out of there. So let's just put that in place, and away that will go, and it'll generate over on this side. What we also want to do is put our crafting station in. I'll put it there, and then you can see we can see our components on the left hand side inside this inventory, and we can craft with it. Unfortunately not the tank, I don't think, but yeah, otherwise we'll see what's going on there. So that I need to just set up on here, so I need to set to always. That's fine, no problems. And liquid transfer speed, I don't think I need to do any of that. I just need to just leave it. I think that should be done by default. So we can put everything back. And I'll just put the floor back in it once I'm done. But other than that, that's nicely compact. Out of the way, and we'll see how much creosote we get out once that first block of coal's been done. And while all that's cooking up, I went back to the Nether. You can see just very, very close. I went over to an island and found Nether Amethyst ores, along with gas and other stuff. So if I pop down here, let's see if we can actually pick it up. We should be able to. Yep, harvestable. And that should be easy to get that way. So Nether Amethyst ore, or Amethyst crystal, we can make into block form, and the block form is used for the drawer controller from storage drawers, which is good. That's what we're going to want to have. I haven't really been using them so far because those gold chests are just so amazing, but it is one option we have available there. Is there any other use for that? Nothing that's worthwhile. And any other real use for it? Liquid purple slime, perhaps. And part of a resplendent prism from Astral Sorcerer. It's a bauble. Okay, so we just want enough of that to get the block form, really, and 9 would be enough. And I've got 2, so I guess I've just got to keep digging around here a little bit and see how much we can find. If there's anything like other ore veins, it should be quite easy to continue finding more of the stuff. Yeah, pretty good. And here's what I was looking for. I'm mainly looking for blazes more than anything else, but having other stuff available too would be pretty good. Although that's quite a lot of blazes. Let me just pop down out of the air so that I can start firing at them. Well, hopefully firing at them. Yeah, let's see how it actually goes. And we get a bit of a magma slime there. And a short noisy time later, seal yourself inside of one of the rooms and leave a small gap, and they'll come to you quite happily, along with plenty of other stuff, like with the skeletons. We also have them rather a bit annoyed out there. Now, if I remember rightly, excuse me for the noise, but I remember rightly, the mobs only last about 400 spawns in the spawners in this pack. It's not infinite, I think. So this isn't like just a farm you can just stand here forever, nor would you want to, of course. But, you know, having enough blaze rods and blaze powder to get us started, I think I've got some more in my backpack. Yep, and that's all the other stuff I've been picking up. Is going to get us a good start. We can just throw up all the wither dust and wither skulls fragments and all other bits and pieces in there. And yeah, it is rather dangerous though. This isn't for the faint of heart. And yeah, so other than that, we can just have a look over here, and you can see I'm really not far from my portal, but your mileage may vary as far as when you find one of the fortresses. Otherwise, I think we can head back now. I don't think I need to do anything else here. And I've marked it on the map, and we can come back later. So here, just all ahead of me, and I'll just, I can't get the minimap out of the way, but if I get a little bit higher, you can see a frozen biome ahead of me, or just on this island. It's just, there we go. So that's what you're looking for, the frozen tops. Pretty aggressive island, unfortunately, so I think I will leave that alone for now. It's not far from the portal though. You can see my portal there. I've created a bit of a landing pad on either side for me to get near, and that will let me get back into my base. But other than that, that's the achievement for me, at least for the frozen biome. Hell's frozen over. I don't think there's anything else to. Oh, hang on. It says collect nether wart, but that's in nether fortresses, so it's nothing really to do with it. I don't think, anyway, unless we need to get one of the blocks from there, but otherwise fine. And now back to base, hopefully our blocks of coal should have finished cooking up. And yes, it looks like the coal coke has been created, so let's go and craft that. Well, craft it, pick it up. There we go, block of coal coke. To do the achievement, you also need the other part of that, which is creosote liquid and coal coke. So in here we have our tank, obviously our tank, and we should be able to have creosote liquid. I'm not sure why that hasn't triggered the whole thing, however, because kind of has. Yeah, we've produced it, but unless you actually explicitly have to actually use it in here, which we have to turn off the extraction for, but we can put it back. Also, I crafted this jerry can. I'm not sure if this can actually do it. Yes, it can. It can hold up to 10 buckets, and we've got 10 buckets exactly. And that's useful because you're going to be using it all for crafting. And if I just do that, we get a full stack at once rather than going through many buckets. The downside to a jerry can is you can't just go and click it on a source block of water to pick up lots of water. So if you want water, what you would have to do is create a well bucket, which I think I already created one. Yeah, I have. Yeah, so if you put a well bucket down next to a... I forgot where I put the water now. Here we go. If I put it down next to this source block, and let's see if this actually works. We should be able to then, whenever it's near a source block, pipe water out of that well bucket to other places. Now, if I just... Where did my jerry can go? Did I move it somewhere? Oh, is it still in the crafting grid? It is. Okay, let me just put that back for a minute. I'm trying to see whether actually that will let me grab water out of here. No, it's clearly not reacting, but it should actually pick up next to any source block, and you can pipe it out of there into other places. So what I could probably do if I wanted water to be crafted with is do the same thing here. Just get another one of liquid hoppers, pipe that straight out of a well when it's put in the right place, when I figure out where it goes, and then fill up one of the, or a few of these tanks from Buildcraft Factory, stack them up, and then whenever I need 10 buckets of water to be crafted with, I can just pick up a jerry can. Apparently it also places source blocks in the world, which would be good. If so, then I wouldn't need this whole arrangement with aqueducts, but we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so I just ran a quick test. So there definitely isn't any source blocks available here in terms of, sorry, not source blocks, infinite water available here, because we can see these two are still something I can't click. However, if I knock that block away, okay, there we go, you can see there is some water in the well bucket, but if we just fill it there, I think that should start filling the well bucket, or at least it did previously. There it goes. Okay, so the well bucket, once it's full up, it should basically be exported by the liquid hopper, and I've just borrowed this from our from our setup over there. I haven't created an extra set, and we should end up with basically a nice block we can pick up lots of water with. So I've picked this up. Yep, so that's 8,700 millibuckets. So we can pick up this, and it'll let us use a jerry can full of whatever we need to do that's crafting with water. So that speeds things up a little bit there. And of course, this kind of thing is effortless once it's set up, because effectively what we can then do is just replace these aqueducts and have that wooden basin just with a tank next to it sticking up out of the ground, or whatever we wanted to do. There's no real problems there. So yeah, quite like it. So the Nether is going to be it for today, I think. We've already been over there now a few times, picked up some little bits and pieces. I just want to see what items we could now make with blaze rods and blaze powder. So yeah, we're into brewing stands, fair enough. Engine fragments. Anything I particularly want in here? Garden scythes, okay. Spawn detectors. A blazing immolation blade. I don't have a couple of nether stars yet though. So I think the main thing... Oh, there's a fire champ. Fire protection while carrying. That actually is probably worthwhile. I will need to get the actual nether quartz before I do that. But that's basically like limited swimming in the nether, if I remember rightly. But it's been a while since I actually used it. But it does get damaged. So bear in mind, as soon as that runs out, you're in trouble. The last thing is just blaze powder. There is something we're actually going to use that for almost immediately, I think. Not magma creams or fire charges. Yes, of course, Eyes of Ender, the usual kind of approaches. But is there something in here? Yes, the blast brick. So we're going to need to make blast brick to make steel at first, and then we'll get the ability to use create steel otherwise. However, bricks are easy enough. Blaze powders I've got a few of. I may need to go and get more, but we can probably create that, yeah, just from the blaze rods 3 to 1, so I can probably get those anyway. However, nether brick aren't as easy as just breaking the nether brick block. You can't, that's not how you can create them, unfortunately. Nor can you just put them in the mill or anything like that. You have to go through making a stoked kiln. So next episode is going to be back to the mods over, where are you, over here? Yes, so we're going to be using these. We're going to be building a hibachi, some automatic bellows, some redstone. Do we have timers yet? We do have timers from Dark Utilities, which is fine. Or redstone timer from Immersive Tech. Block placers now. I think they ain't cheap. They're not cheap. Okay, but we have them. Dispensers, I guess you could use. Dispenser, is that available? Yeah, that's available. Okay. And the redstone clock may be finally available. Yeah. Yeah, again, not cheap. Aluminium, redstone alloy, which is alloying Constantan, glowstone and redstone, and Constantan is also an alloy of nickel and copper. So yeah, there's work to be done in the smeltery there if you want those kind of things, but that leads on to automation and all kinds of other stuff. The whole point of going through bellows and hibachis is basically making a very high temperature flame, but we'll cover that next episode as we get into that sort of thing. Hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, click on the like button down below, leave comments for your fellow players. This is already full, so that's working perfectly. Leave comments for your fellow players with tips and tricks for this pack, and I will see you next episode for some more SevTech Ages of the Sky. As always, guys, thanks for watching.